Hey guys, Tarke here and welcome to episode 2 of our Puncture Bleed Bow update series. Today we're going to do some chill mapping, talk about some changes I've made to the skill tree, yes, even more, some changes I'm planning to do once I get my Uber Lab. I'm running the wrong flasks, remind me to change this. You can't remind me because this is a video, this isn't a stream, but remind me anyway. And going over some rather, I want to say unfortunate, they're drops that have confused me. They're good drops. Like, basically I had some items and I don't know what to do with them. I'm also having some weird graphical issues, I've noticed. I was having a very smooth League launch, like very few bugs. But I have had a few like weird screen flickers. You might notice it. Apologies. Not entirely sure what caused it. If you've been having any bugs like that, you might just fix it. Please do let me know. So yeah, still haven't got my Uber Lab, annoyingly. I did actually get my first trial, and you only need one trial now to do Uber Lab. You just need to get the key from it. I then crashed, my only crash of the league, in like the last room before Azaro, which was, when I say mildly rage-inducing, what I want to say is absolutely soul-destroying. It was very frustrating. I'd also gotten like a bunch of dark shrines, which would have been really nice for like extra enchants, all that good stuff. So I was very irritated by that. Oh, we got a whole bunch of these. Let's knock out an Arch Nemesis or two. Let's have a look. See. Do you just want to cheat ones? Let's farm some Berserkers, farm some more Uniques. Still need to get myself a Ungol's Harmony. I'm partially considering making a second low-level character. It's level 23 unique. And farming unique Arch Nemesis in my level 23 zone. Level 23 character. It's a smaller drop pool. Could be worth. The question is the hours it would take worth it compared to just progressing the Atlas? Probably not, which is why I haven't done it, but it is something that I am considering. I'm just kind of hoping that I will fall into one. It's such a common item, but of course, like the one time you want it, you don't have it, but you know, it is what it is what it is. We've made some improvements to our gearing. We are at 51% crit chance with my clear setup. I'm not running a crit strikes gem or anything. Running a crit strikes gem was something I was doing in the past. With a crit strikes gem, I believe I went up to 73%, which was good, but then I had the issue that I didn't really have the int for it, and I didn't need int for anything but the crit strikes gem, and I only ran it on my clear setup, just to smooth out the consistency, and I was just like, Well, just wasn't mad for it, so I ended up dropping it. Currently running a 4-link for my clear, 5-link for my single target. Also, I need to remember to curse, so you've probably noticed I'm not running marks anymore. So I've swapped from running Poacher's Mark to running Vulnerability. Vulnerability is more damage. Poacher's Mark barely beats out Vulnerability if you have the Ascendancy, which I don't have. And you have skill points investing into it. And I'm thinking of dropping that Mark Ascendancy completely from my plans. So I've kind of just been sort of underwhelmed by Poacher's Mark. It wasn't as exciting as I'd hope it would be. So here, the mana would be kind of nice. This is when I sort of and R over it. And starting a debuff effect, interesting. I can run 50 maps and be like, I never need it. And then I run like one map like that and I'm like, haven't quite got the most comfortable mana leech. Maybe I should add it back in. And I just don't quite know. Self-casting it feels rough. Maybe it'll feel better when I get my Uber Lab. Can't test it because I haven't got my Uber Lab because I haven't got any keys. Having it on the trigger is smooth, but it feels wasteful. I probably should just shove it back on the trigger setup. I don't know, I'm not in a completely solid frame of mind on that one yet. That was a waste of an essence one, by the way. I'm just a little bit umming and ahhing over it. I'm not entirely sure. If I didn't take the Mark Ascendancy, would I take Windward? I'm actually, funnily enough, I am now leaning towards taking... What's that? Quality of cold gems. I'm actually leaning towards taking the additional projectiles. So I went from planning on using Windward and the Mark Keynode to now using neither of them, which is quite interesting. I've been won over so heavily by Ricochet, I'm now just kind of thinking maybe I should build heavily into the Ricochet and just embrace it. I would say the main weakness of the build currently is the map clear without the hemophilia. Feels kind of rough. And it's mostly just a targeting issue with Chain. So Chain is great until the density gets too big. Once the density gets too big, you just have an issue of you can only hit so many targets. And anything we want off this? And yeah, if you can't hit all the targets you want to hit, then it's kind of like, what's the point? Nope. Nope. We're just taking the map here. So yeah, so if I get the extra 2 arrows, the chain will feel more consistent for map clear. The single target will actually go up as well. So the vulnerability versus mark thing, as I said, the marks only become better than vulnerability with point investment and ascendancy node investment. If you're not running them, if you're not running the marks, you don't need to do all that stuff. You save the skill points, save the ascendancy points. And the other nice thing about the... I hate this flask. I'm going to hate this flask even more when I show you the other... Okay, I'm just going to do it now. I was going to wait until the end of the video. But I feel like someone with GGG is really messing with me. So this is another reason why I've been really conflicted with this video. I've had an Azimuth Charm drop and a Carcass Jack drop. And intuitively, these are all things that I use on a Corsicaro Soulrend build. I played Corsicaro Soulrend nearly 2 years ago now, and it was probably my favorite build ever. I love that build so much, and every league people keep telling me, hey Tarke, you should go and remake that build. I'm like, dude, I play SSF, I never have an Azimuth Chant. If I ever get an Azimuth Chant, I'll play it. And then the one league I commit to doing a long-term series on a build, day one, Azimuth Chant, Carcass Jack, now Witchfire Brew. Fortunately, I don't like Witchfire Brew. I think it's a bad flask, but yeah, this just completely threw me for a loop. I'm doing my best to ignore it, and maybe I'll do that as a second build. But yeah, whenever I try and plan anything out, my head's just like, dude, you've got an Azimuth Chant. Use the Azimuth Chant. And Azimuth Chant just doesn't fit into this build, and it's really annoying that it doesn't. If you can think of a good use of the Azimuths, let me know. You could be like, but Tarke, you were saying all that stuff with the mark skills, like you can shove the mark skill in there. The problem you then have is it's got such a low cooldown that you're just going to instantly yourself or kill yourself. And have I got a chromatic? I don't actually have chromatics. Because you have to pay the mana cost, right? So if I just shove like a normal curse in there now. So curses cost quite a lot of mana. Boom, boom, boom. See that? So then you're like, oh, you life tap it, but then you're paying every 0.3 seconds every time you attack, you're chunking your health for like 90. Ooh. And I haven't really got anything else to put in it. We don't get Hydrosphere value. Tornado doesn't do anything for us. Is there anything else? And if there even was, could we afford the life cost? No. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't focus on anything because I got this helm drop, and I'm just trying to work something out with it. And I don't know. It's confusing, which is why it's in the confusing tab. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I never thought I'd be annoyed just to get an Azimuth Chant. I don't think I would have minded if I didn't, as long as it wasn't day one. It's just the fact that it was like an item I've hunted for years at this point. Day one of a fresh league. It's just like, What do me? I don't know. I'm too dumb to work it out. But yeah, it's a long league. It's a 3-month. I can always save it for a second build. But yeah, a little bit confused. I left some loot at the start of the map, so let's just pick that up. So that Eric was very nice. I'm also worth mentioning, I'm gonna be doing a separate video today going all over loot filter stuff. So stay tuned for that if it's not up already by the time you're watching this video. So yeah, we'll run a couple more maps. We'll put some more build stuff. I've locked down what I believe to be the core skeleton of the skill tree. It's kind of like what I'm considering now to be the bare minimum viability. If you... Shame the crit multi on that as low, would have been a good quiver otherwise. If you have that locked in, then it's kind of like the build functions. If you don't have that locked in, then you're kind of like... Yeah. There's... nah, not that great. So I will vendor this stuff off, and then I will show you what I believe to be the bare minimum tree. Now, keeping in mind, you know, this is the best and worst thing about doing new builds completely fresh like this, is you have this sense of exploration. No. So if you are following all this, be prepared that you will have to do some respecking here and there. Yeah, let me just move my cam briefly for you. This is what I consider to be the core minimum tree. You have these points, minus these like flask nodes, but pretty much this. Other than 1 or 2 points here and there, which are kind of fluffy, that's it. In the last video, I was talking about how I was really struggling picking between all the really nice bow masteries. And I'm like, there's just so many amazing bow masteries. I just wish I could fit them all into the build. In the latest patch, they updated this one node. This node before didn't have damage over time with bow skills on it, which always made it a very inefficient 3-pointer. Now, with the buffed up bow masteries and all of these giving accuracy, attack speed, damage over time, this is now a very efficient 4-pointer, even 5-pointer with the mastery. So this also puts you within 1 point of phasing, which is great because it means that you can take that phasing from point, not need to rely on a flask. Yeah, really, really strong. So basically, with this tree, you should have just enough crit to function. And then from here, you can kind of go in any which direction that you want. So you can either go hard left, picking up more mark, damage, bleed things. You can go into cluster jewels. I would if I had them, but I don't. Or what I'm currently going to do is you can come across into Mage Bane for very, very easy spell suppression capping, which is the immediate goal because... I mean, what else am I going to spec into? I think here we're going to spend the 1 skill point on... It's between the 150 crit chance against enemies on full life and the crit multi. I think I'm just going to take this because I'm just so desperate for crit chance currently. It'll feel a little bit rough if ever my Mirage Archer procs it instead of me, but oh well. For the most part, that should make my... My latest regions have been very bad today. It will make my initial, like, playing while we hunt down Ungol's Harmonies, either through farming it in low-level zones, or hoping for one to drop, or Gwenin, or whatever. Just feel a little bit smoother. You didn't remind me to update my flask. I'm very disappointed in you. Shame. Oh yeah, that feels nice already. So yeah, the main thing with the build is just, like, it feels excellent when it's all critting. When I'm getting my crits, the build feels super, super smooth. And then I'll have, like, a really poor streak of no crits, and I'm like, this feels really rough. Ow. I see these frame drops, man. Nice. Now, the Ascendancy stuff would be really nice to mess around with. So, as I was saying, I've kind of got this umming and ahhing about not being entirely sure what I want to do with the mark skills, if I want to run them or not. The good thing about the marks is, even though... like the uptime and like if you're automating it with the links and then having to do some mark effect or you're manually casting it, maybe with the pro feel good enough, it does solve any and all mana problems. Actually, we'll save those, we'll do that in a different video. So in that sense, it's probably worth running just for that. It means that I don't need to worry about any mana leech on gear. It just kind of solves absolutely everything. Like currently I'm having a little bit, as you can probably tell here and there, where I will be just shy of having cozy mana. It's like cozy 90% of the time. But that 10% of the time that it isn't, obviously feels very rough because you need your mana to do all the things. And if you can't do all the things, well then We can't do the things. Saying that though, having the extra 2 arrows would make the map play feel much better. It'd make the single target feel smoother as well. God, some of these frames all of a sudden, GGG. Harvest. Oh, it's always the way when you're recording, you get all the things at once. We won't do that in this video. We'll do it afterwards. And, oh god, haven't had any, like, we've had some visual bugs, never had any serious frame drops. Go to record, frame drop galore. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Let's just get out of this map as soon as we can. Oh god, why is that happening? But yeah, as I was saying, sorry, the really neat thing about having the extra arrows on the single target puncture is it would let me get all 3 stacks of rupture, potentially from 1 attack. You'd very, very reliably get 2 stacks of rupture. Ooh, let's use this. Let's use it on my helmet. Well, I guess that made that decision for me. Yeah. Sticking with vulnerability though, not getting marks. I really feel like someone at GGG has been trolling me. Like, I know there's no such thing as streamer client, but like, come on, something shenanigans is happening. I did do a bunch of chancing. We chanced everything in this tab. As a result of chancing everything in this tab, we got 1 chance unique. We got a magnate. I'm going to maintain every day. I'll update you. I will do a mixture of some chancing off stream, on video. Sorry, I keep saying stream. Doing on video, off video. I'll try to do them on video, and we'll collect how many uniques, see how long it takes for a Scar or Salva's coil. Likewise, I will also try and do a little summary at the end of every video going over gear upgrades. Which, let's see, we spoke about the ascendancy stuff, how I want to go for the plus arrows now. Core minimum viability. I'm just trying to make sure I've got everything right in my head. Sorry, I've been just so thrown off with all the random higgledy-piggledy stuff. Getting that witch vibrary really disorientated me. Yeah, resisting the urge to Asinus chant caustic arrow at every and all opportunity. Yeah, we can cover gearing and then finish up there. So we've gotten 2 bow upgrades since the last video. This was my starting bow. This was a bow I crafted in Act 10. I bought it off the vendor, used the rustic sash recipe, which is any bow with a magic or rare rustic sash plus a blacksmith whetstone. Get you a bow back with 54 to 64 fizz damage increased. We then got this one. I picked up a 50% Harvey bow. So I was like, all right, let's go again. This time I threw an essence into it. I hit the essence, the global multi, and thought, yeah, we'll stick with that. Global multi is dot multi for me. Crafted on fizz, used that for a while. Then today this dropped as is, and I just crafted the flat fizz on there, and I'll probably be stuck with this one for a while. I say stuck, I'll be with this one for a while. This was my old quiver, pretty solid in the fact that it had a bunch of flat fizz, attack speed, crit chance, and the mana leech, most importantly, on the quiver. Replaced it with this one, which is much of the same, but just better life roll. Still has the mana leech, has some fizz, and we're using the projectile mastery scaling now, so it's giving us damage. It's got the crit chance with frenzy charge generation on there. Feels quite nice, especially since I need to fit frenzy charge generation back into the build now that we've dropped the marks. This was my old hat. You've already seen my new one. My vulnerability. Screw you, vulnerability cast effect. Same body armor, but we did gain endurance charge generation every 15 seconds. We got +1 maximum cold res. I'm really enjoying this new influence system on these gloves. These gloves are great. I'm not replacing these anytime soon. Would like to replace this belt. And these boots, I actually have got a replacement ready. I just need to get my colors on them, see if we can get them this time. I threw in, I think I've thrown in like 40 chromatics now, and for whatever reason I just can't get this combination. It should be really easy to get, but I just always get it in the wrong direction. Very irritating. I guess I can quickly finish up by showing you my Atlas progression. So we've only got 35 completed. We've been going quite slow, just having fun. And this is what my skill tree is looking like. I've done a video going over my reasoning for all this stuff. There we go, that's better, that's much more zoomed out. And my thing is blocking all that, there you Yeah, I rushed into Betrayal and Expedition early because I knew that that was going to be a main focus. I just realized I actually skipped that 1 point. Whoops. I will get that on the next bonus completion. I thought I finished that and then started traveling towards the map completion. Yikes. But yeah, so anyway, I got these beelined for effective leadership, and then because I'm so sleep deprived, didn't take effective leadership. I then, after skipping the node, sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points traveling. Well done, Tarke. Hoping to get the Shaping the Valleys Commissioned Officer and Expert. I will say, from the point of view of someone who didn't rush the map stuff early, I definitely did notice it. I have been struggling a little bit in climbing up through the yellow maps. The highest map I've gotten so far has only been a tier 10, and it's been a struggle getting up there. So if you are progressing early, I would say if you don't mind the slower start, I've been fine just taking the slower start. I've been having fun with all the new content. It's quite suited me. But if you do want to get there as soon as possible, just rush Shaping Mountains, Shaping Skies, and then to Shaping Seas, Shaping Valleys. But yeah, for now, that's everything. Please let me know if you're playing this build, how it's been progressing along for you. If you've got any questions about the build, let me know. Hopefully we can get some red map footage for the next one, and again there'll be a separate video later today talking all about loot filters. I'm Tarke, have a good day, path to building, linked below by the way. Bye bye.